We begin the hour, though, on the heels of that White House press briefing, lengthy, from the President of the United States, kind of a line-item run through a series of items, what he sees as his signature accomplishments from his first year back in office. The great Geraldo Rivera is here for the Daily Take, and we did ask, hello, Geraldo, you to prepare a report card for the president. I said, Professor Geraldo, you know, it's grading day, January 20th of 2026. Let me go to the tablet. First, looking at the president's approval rating before we get to Geraldo's ratings. You see a couple of key moments on this, Geraldo, when things kind of started to go south a little bit, although for this president, it's always a narrow range, right? We're talking about going south, but, you know, Liberation Day tariffs and how that kind of started to hurt his approval. And he's been hovering kind of in the low 40s and coming in here just under 43% approval. So I said to our guests earlier that the fact that foreign policy has been such a big part of this has been a surprise. You give the president a C when it comes to his approach to foreign policy. So let's start there. Why?
Well, let me tell you the things I have not maybe fully considered that I should. He did a great job in terms of the Iranian nuclear capabilities and eliminating those, and I think he did a great job in snatching Maduro. But the catastrophe that he has created with NATO is so alarming. It is so. You know, shattering of our principles, our long-held, decades-long, you know, embrace of Europe and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and the bulwark against Soviet and then Russian expansion. You know, I think that to undermine NATO and then to chicken out on Ukraine, I take it alarming. How do we desert, basically become mercenaries, selling our goods, our weapons, but not helping Ukraine in other areas? The indication is that backing off on intelligence sharing and so forth, and trying to kiss Putin's ass repeatedly. To me, that you know, the bad, the negative, the you know, yes, he solved all of these wars, but Putin is the monster. He's the bad guy. He to me is the barometer by which foreign policy is measured. And I think the president has come up short in his ambivalence toward the Soviet or to the Russian dictator.
Well, now he wants to put him on the board of peace.
Well, you know, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to you know, to Russia helping the world. I'm opposed to Russia devouring Ukraine.
Right.
But I think you can do both things at the same time. I think the president can engage Russia in the Middle East. At the same time, he opposes Russia in Europe. But all things considered, because the NATO Greenland thing is so alarming and so dysfunctional and so, you know, off the beaten track. I don't know what the hell he's thinking about. I think
asked
that
him
it brings
today,
down his
how far are you going to go? And he says, you'll find out with Greenland.
But what the hell? What is that? What are we in high school? You know, you think you're tougher than me? I'll see you after PE. You know, you'll find out what come on. I've used that line myself over some of my punky years.
Nobody was messing with you back then, Geraldo, that's for sure. Nobody wanted to beat you after gym class. Forget about it.
Thanks for remembering.
I want to ask about the economy, because I think this is interesting, because Hannah Brandt, I thought you asked the right question, you know, because we've been talking about it a lot on the show, is saying, hey, President Biden late in his term was saying things are great and nobody's believing you. Are you, Mr. President, making that same mistake with the economy? But then I look down, let's bring it up at Geraldo's report card, and I see that for the economy, we have it on the tablet here, you have produced a big fat A for the president. So explain.
I think that he's getting a bum rap on the affordability issue. And I think that, you know, he had to deal with, you know, not only what Biden left behind, but also COVID, the lingering effects of that life-changing, once-in-a-lifetime, you know, epidemic that killed millions of people around the globe. I think that, you know, he deserves credit for helping to keep that ship going. Inflation is solid, as he suggests. It's if anything, it's trending down. Price of gasoline, price of eggs. There's so many other tariffs. The deficit going down. Finally, he's running America like it was a business. I cheer that on. He surrounds himself with all these smart, creative, successful people. And I think that's a good thing.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.